Hey everybody, welcome to Summoner Wars, and in this game I will be playing as Thrak. He is the summoner for the Storm Goblins, and my opponent, Nymira, is the summoner for the Shimmersea Fae. And they were both part of an expansion pack, one of the newer expansions, at least at the time of recording this, and, on theme with Storm Goblins, it really does feel electric, and take the cliche however way you want it. It feels really fun to play as this faction. And so let me talk to you about how each phase in a turn goes, and then we'll get stuck into the game. So with Summoner Wars, we start off by summoning, and if you see this 2 right here down at the bottom right with the diamond that is underlaid by another diamond, that is the cost, that's how much magic I have. And next to all of my cards here, which that's going to resemble my hand, that's how much everything is worth. You'll notice that Skiz here is worth a lot of points because he is a champion. Champions are the more important pieces versus commons are going to be like pawns in chess. So that's a little bit about summoning. And then moving, whereas in chess you have all of your pieces on the battlefield and you would only move one at a time, we get to move 3 pieces on our turn, a maximum of 3 pieces. Oh, I should back up and say that summoning, it has to happen out of these gates, which are, you can think of them as portals. If you don't have a portal, you can't summon a creature to the battlefield. We do have gates in our deck, and our deck is comprised of 25 cards, and you don't shuffle. Once you get to the bottom of your deck, that's it. You use the remaining resources, and it's kind of a war of attrition at that point. So onto the move phase, you can move up to 3 pieces, and each piece, unless it has card text that breaks the ability, they can only move 2 spaces. You can't really move diagonally unless your card allows you to break that rule. So with my witch, I could move her up and to the left, for instance. The build phase is where you would put more gates out if you had gates in hand. And the attack phase is when you initiate attacks. Now, importantly, there are 2 different types of attacks. There are ranged attacks, symbolized by this archery symbol. And there are melee attacks, which are symbolized by the sword. Melee attacks are more likely to hit. They have a 5 out of 6 probability. Ranged attacks have a probability of 4 out of 6. And finally, when you get to the last phase, the magic phase, that's going to be when you decide, hey, do I want to discard any cards from my hand? Because every single card, like a card, is worth 1 magic. So let's say that I wind up killing the Tidebreaker, I deplete it of its 3 hit points. That would go to my opponent's discard, and I would get a magic. And so that's the resource we're going to be able to spend in this game. So I hope that you enjoyed this game. It's really fun. Thrak, a little bit about him. He has an ability called Circuit. And what that is that all adjacent units have Circuit. So, and here's the tricky thing. It's not just this Volt Swapper who's right next to me. It's everybody who's attached to me. And why that matters is because once per turn, during my attack phase, I can add 1 damage to every other unit that has Circuit. And so now, every piece on the board, so long as it's connected, every unit on the board, gates don't count for this, is within range of, my Circuit attack. So that's Thrak. I'm going to be trying to link my opponent's cards. Volt Swapper here is one of the engines that, one of the gears, I guess you would say, that makes this engine work. So he has Lightning Step. Once per turn during your move phase, if this unit has Circuit, you may place this unit adjacent to your summoner or any common or champion that has Circuit. Adjacent units have Circuit. Right, so he can kind of hop ahead without burning a move. And then the witch, all of my cards, all of my units are going to revolve around this idea of lightning. She has Lightning Wrath. This unit has +2 strength while it's damaged, so she almost wants to get hit by his chain lightning, because then it makes her more effective. And that's what you're going to see me do at the start here. I'm going to start moving, and I'm going to pull the Strider out. I really like when my hand starts out with a Strider in it, because the Strider, they're tireless. You may choose this unit as an extra moving unit during your move phase. But most importantly, Lightning Ward, ignore damage that would be added to this unit from lightning abilities. And so he does a really good job of, because the Volt Swapper is so cheap and has so little hit points that my summoner Thrak, if I'm not careful, he'll be defenseless. So I don't want to get too greedy with where I put Thrak, but I do want him in the mix. And with Nymeria, she's able to shift up her gates. She's able to move her gates, actually, which you normally can't do. And she's able to really advance everybody on the battlefield. So I want to be really particular about where I put people and how I'm protecting Thrak. So I'm putting Strider right there, right in front of the Tidebreaker. And I deliberated on this for a while. I wanted to put the Witch within range of this Scout. And ranged units, they can attack up to 3 spaces in front of them. So the Witch has an empty space, another empty space, and then the Scout is within range because they're in that 3rd space. We are going to move the Vault Swapper just out of the way. I want him in safety because he only has 1 hit point, so we'll save him for a rainy day. And Thrak is linked up, so now everybody who's attached to me could get hit by my chain lightning. And then actually, you know what? I'm going to move Volt Swapper behind just in case I want to flip him up to the front lines on a later turn. Excuse me. And here comes the chain lightning. So I'm triggering that. My Witch takes a damage, but she's gone up to 3 archery symbols, range, I guess you would call it. And so I'm hoping that at least 2 of them will hit this Luminous Scout, because they can also swing with 3 ranged units. So that is a little bit dangerous. And I got lucky there. I killed the Tidebreaker, and I went up to 1 magic, which is good. And I just missed. So my Witch is going to be in threat next round for sure. And we'll see how they volley back. Now, I decided to get rid of this discharge as much as I like the discharge, which is target a damaged common within 3 spaces of your summoner. Destroy this target. They don't necessarily have the biggest commons to be, spending a magic to discard them. So I figured it was, and also really early in the game, I wanted to get some magic into my discard pile to eventually build up 4 Skiz. Okay, and then I drew back up to 5. I have 2 overcharges. Overcharge is really fun. Add 1 to each numeral and the text of friendly lightning abilities. So if I can set it up, this is the lightning ability. Instead of +2 strength, it would have +3 strength, which would mean it would bump from a 3 range to a 4 range. Thrak's Circuit, which I don't have to roll dice for, would go from 1 damage to 2 damage. So we're going to see if we can capitalize on that. And here come my opponent's return of volley. And this is one of their champions. It's a little bit cheaper. It's closer to the cost of a common unit. But that's because when they die, they go to the bottom of the draw pile. Okay, and let's see how they return. Pushing forward here, and I would imagine that they're gonna swing. Now, if I could live through this, that's great. I'd love to eke 1 more attack out of the Witch if possible. And the Strider, at 3 health, not feeling super great about him, but he's still got hopefully another 2 rounds. We'll see if we play our cards right. So this Kite Rider, a lot of fun here. When this unit moves, it may move 1 extra space and through cards, so it can fly. That's what flight does. Lightning Strike when this unit attacks. Now this lightning bolt symbol, I think it's got like about a 50% chance, maybe even less, to hit. And when it hits, it damages each common and champion adjacent to its target. So let's say that I fly up and attack Inara, and then I get that lightning bolt symbol. It would damage my character as well as this gate right next to it. Okay. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to move forward with the Kite Rider. We're going to pull the Strider up forward just to get up in their face. And now the Kite Rider had to be there because I wanted to get everybody in range of my Chain Lightning. So we're going to get Thrak up there and in the mix. And I actually was thinking about, let's get the Witch back to safety from here. Because the Seer is going to get hit by my Chain Lightning, I don't really have to put the Witch in harm's way. Now, if they want to advance forward and try to attack my Witch, that's okay. I'm kind of baiting and switching them. The Witch isn't even that valuable to me. I care more about the Strider and about my Kite Rider. So, and Overcharge. We're actually going to trigger the Overcharge because I have the ability to kill this Oracle outright. I'm not going to kill Inara, but I'm going to do a lot of damage to her, and I do 2 direct damage to Nymeria. So here it comes, and I ended up missing, but you'll see that because of that lightning symbol, I get hit by 2, and then, yeah, I guess the gate doesn't get hit, and these 2 that are hitting is the Chain Lightning, so my Kite Rider is actually going to die. So a little bit of friendly fire. Strider doesn't get any damage because they're Lightning Ward, and you know, could have been better, could have been worse. But we're in a very forward, I'd say aggressive position. And we're discarding down because now we have the flexibility of getting Skiz out next turn if we need it. And Braca, she's really cool. She's really fast. And she's also got Lightning Ward as well. So I tend to favor Braca. And here we go, High Tide, boost your summoner, target any number of friendly units cards, force each target 1 space towards your opponent's back row. So this is why I wanted to take a very aggressive step forward here, is because I knew that they were going to be able to force all of their units forward, and even their gates here. So now I'm really feeling the pressure. And they're going to put Inara up and in my face with Thrak. Nymeria is going to get up and to the left there. She just gets boost tokens, and she spent a boost token in order to heal herself, I believe. Once per turn after this unit attacks an enemy unit, boost it. And what boosts are, that like number there, they just go on the card, and then like different cards can do different things with boosts. So what Nymeria can do, after this unit moves, you may spend 1 boost to either remove 1 damage, or to add 2 damage to an adjacent common or champion. And so she is not adjacent to anybody, so she's going to bring her health back up 1. And Rebuke, target an enemy common within 2 clear straight spaces of your summoner, pay that target's cost. So she does have to spend magic to be able to do this and put it on the bottom of my draw pile. So you know what? I'm honestly okay with that because he doesn't die and they don't get the magic from that. So they're spending magic to lose magic, basically. And yes, Thrak is exposed here, but we'll see if we can remedy that in a bit. And they're summoning a gate now. 2 damage to Thrak, down to 9 hit points. And they have some very forward gates. I think they might have 2 High Tides, so I gotta worry about the gates going farther forward here. Braca comes out, the MVP, one of my favorites. When this unit moves, it may move up to 2 extra spaces, and then again it has that lightning ward where it can channel the lightning and it doesn't get damaged by the lightning from Thrak. So I figured I really like to place my units directly in front of the gates here to block a summoning spot. So now this gate, they're not able to summon right in front of it. And we're going to move Braca right here. And this Volt Swapper, I want to put him, boom, right there in front of these 2 gates, so that if they were going to summon in front of, or they can't summon in front of the 10 gate either, they have to summon to the side. Makes them a little bit less efficient. Yeah, Nymeria could come out and start to attack my Witch, but that's going to expose her, and we can, mount a counterattack. So we'll see how they respond to this. And I didn't think that it was necessary. I gambled a little bit here because I needed to hit 2 out of 3. I didn't think it was necessary for me to do my Chain Lightning and kill people unnecessarily. So we're just going to accrue 1 magic and do a little chip damage to the gate here, put a little pressure on. Would love to get this down to 1. That was a bad roll from my lightning, from my, what is it, lightning witch? Storm witch, yeah. And let's discard down to get some more magic. And I can't quite get Skiz out, but I don't see him coming out right now. But I wanted to cycle through my deck a little bit more. I have some more Kite Riders, and I have a Volt Swapper, Strider again. We'll see what we want to use based off of how they respond. They move the Tidebreaker behind their gates. And, oh, they're doing a little bit of a defensive posturing. And Nymera is going to take a damage. The reason she took a damage there is because if you don't attack an enemy gate or unit, your summoner takes a damage, and that's to prevent turtling in the game. So their gate's very far forward here. And remember, the build phase happens after the summon phase. So this turn, they can't summon anybody from this gate. So I want to clog up that gate in front of it. So that they can't take advantage of this very forward posture. Also, High Tide only happens, you can only force cards forward if there's nothing in front of it. So if I block it up, then they won't be able to, push forward here. So that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to move my Witch right in front of it. And then let's fly my Kite Rider right there. So all of these gates are blocked up. Really, the only threat that I have is around the 10 gate here, immediately to the right. And we're going to start moving Braca even up to block that as well. And we'll just do some more chip damage to their gates. A little bit of a better roll. Braca's going to start taking away some damage from that gate. And there you go. I decided not to attack with my Kite Rider because if my Kite Rider hit that lightning bolt, it would have damaged either my Witch or my Volt Swapper. So I'm just playing, safe. And discarding down. And this way, I figured my Kite Rider can fly. So I'm going to leave you at a little cliffhanger as to what I'm going to do with my flight. But I discarded down to 4 magic because I'm really trying to set something up. And there's my 4th summoner. Ezek allows me to, after this unit moves, it may target a friendly unit within 3 spaces, place the target adjacent to this unit. It allows me to manipulate the positionality of all of my characters. Here comes Lyra. They're technically twins, I think is what the lore or the theme is. The other Deep Water, which I had killed. This one is able to, after this unit attacks an enemy unit, you may place this adjacent to your summoner. So they can play bodyguard, basically. And Braca's going to take some damage to face, no doubt. And they're going to keep Nymera tucked behind their Tidebreaker and Lyra. And I'm noticing that there's a nice chain, so if I wanted to do some chain lightning, we could take advantage of the fact that they're chained and Braca is right there. Okay, and they're discarding down. They're burning through their deck more quickly. They're already down to 10 discards, or to 10 cards, 13 discards. I have 14. I try to play an economic game to wait my opponent out. So Skiz is out, and you're not going to see it this turn, but I am building towards something that will be really fun, in my opinion. And Thrak, we're going to move him right here. We're using the Volt Swapper to create a chain lightning link to where I can attack. Yes, the Volt Swapper is going to die, but they're kind of a dime a dozen, and I have cards that can recuperate them from the graveyard. So we're going to attack first, just to see how much damage we're going to do. So we are going to kill this Deep Water champion. And here comes the Chain Lightning. Bye-bye Volt Swapper. Bye-bye Lyra. And the nice thing is because I killed the Volt Swapper, they don't get the magic for that. And we'll keep doing some pot shots on their gates. All right. Feeling pretty good about things. One thing I should mention is that you can summon gates in any of the back 3 rows of your space. So you can't do it any farther forward unless what Nymera's done is you can summon gates, you can build gates, adjacent to your summoner. So that's why she was able to get this gate that far forward. Okay, so I'm discarding down because I figured, how often do you have 3 champions on the battlefield? Now, my champions are relatively cheap, and so now we're down to 10 cards in our draw pile, but recharge is really cool, and what it allows me to do is I can retrieve up to 2 Volt Swappers from my discard pile and place them adjacent to my summoner. Not only that, after this unit is destroyed, the Volt Swappers that I picked up from the graveyard, by a friendly lightning abilities, so think about my chain lightning, I can place it on top of my draw pile. So I artificially have more cards, you would say, than my opponent. And so this is the computer. That was a suboptimal play. But really what this is a display of like the cool things that you can do with Chain Lightning and with Thrak. So they spent a lot of resources in order to summon a card, and then they spent more resources to switch it out. And so Lyra, what they just, the epic, or the event card that they picked was, your summoner has +1 strength and may attack cards that are diagonal to it. So they're going to go ahead and do that. I don't think that this is maybe the most optimal play either. Braca took a hit. But they get my Kite Rider down to 1 hit point, which is not great. And that's pretty much all they're doing, and they're down to 6 cards. So if I can like bleed them out, manage my resources, I'll be able to cash in on a real advantage. Okay. And so I'm shifting the Witch out of here. I'm moving Skiz right there. And next turn, so long as my Kite Rider doesn't get diagonally attacked, and I don't think it can, Braca kills that. So I'm putting pressure on, I'm mounting it from the right, and then I'm actually intentionally not attacking their gates because I want to actually pin Nymera down into her little bunker where she is, and she won't be safe there. So here comes a scout, 3 ranged attack that they're going to be attacking with. And here, again, like that's just not an optimal play. But they went up and did that. And they just moved to get a boost onto Nymera. She's healing again. And here comes a gate that's a little bit far forward, so they can get into my back line. And remember, they were able to place that there because it's in their back 3 rows. Okay. And 2 damage to Braca. Now, Braca has been a bit of a workhorse for us, so I want to see if I can eke more. I hate to see Braca die, but we'll see what we're able to do with Braca beyond this. And they've discarded down to 4 magic. To 1 card in their draw pile, and they have 4 magic for their troubles. So I'd imagine they're probably in shape to put something pretty powerful onto the battlefield. We'll see if that comes to fruition. Remember, when I killed those 2 champions, they go to the bottom of the draw pile. So they at least have one of those champions in their hand, and then the next card that they're going to draw is the other champion. So I drew out this Witch just to... she's going to be soaking damage. And the Kite Rider, I've got him up here because Skiz, and here comes Skiz's ability, once per turn during your attack phase, this unit may target a friendly unit with a lightning ability that is up to 4 straight spaces away. Add 1 damage to each unit between this unit and the target. And so now the Kite Rider's going to be able to hit Nymera for 1 damage. Skiz is going to be able to hit her for 1 damage without rolling. And I thought that was a fun way to use. And I'm going to pin down again so that I don't get damaged by somebody coming through those gates. This Witch is really just there to protect Thrak. And hopefully Braca gets another kill so that she can stay alive. And here comes Skizz's Bottled Lightning. Boom. So using the Kite Rider, who has a lightning ability, and just guarantees 1 damage here. Kite Rider is going to do another damage, hopefully. So we're already down to 9. And I don't even need to use Chain Lightning there, although I would have benefited from the Witch getting more scary. And Skizz is also going to chip through this. If he got through, it really wouldn't have been a big deal because the floodgates open and Nymera is pretty much done at that point. So here comes a Scout and Tidebreaker. I would imagine that Braca's going to die this turn. We'll see what happens. And Scout is going to move very far forward. They surprisingly attack the gate. They should have attacked pretty much anybody else. The Volt Swapper would have caused problems for us. And there goes Braca. MVP. Really opened up the game for us. And Kite Rider is gone as well. So let's see what we set up for. They have a lot of magic, but they only have 1 card. So I know they're basically defanged. Whatever they summon, it's probably going to be 1 more champion. And that's it for the rest of the game. So Ezek, we're going to pull Ezek out here because I want to be able to manipulate my cards and shift them around places. I really wanted to get another Kite Rider behind Nymera, because every turn that there's not a Kite Rider behind Nymera, I can't use Skizz's ability. And the cool thing about this game is you get to see me using a lot of my cards here. So all of my champions, which is I think atypical in a lot of games. So Ezek's ability, after this unit moves, it may target a friendly unit within 3 spaces, place the target adjacent to this unit. So because of that, and my Volt Swapper there, I'm just skipping him along there because he has, that lightning step ability, so let's zip him up there. And Ezek's going to move here, and Kite Rider's going to go right there. Kite Rider's going to fly up there. Now, these gates are exposed. Somebody could come through this gate, but Thrak is protected on all edges. So I'm okay if somebody comes through and starts attacking Skizz or Ezek. Really, I just want to put some pressure onto their summoner. And Scout is almost dead. There's the Bottled Lightning, really fun ability. Kite Rider is gonna swing in, and the Kite Rider has more hit points this time, so it'll take more damage. And I've activated Chain Lightning. A lot of my characters are taking damage here. The Witch becomes more powerful, and the Volt Swapper is gonna die here. But I end up killing the Scout, which I thought was the bigger threat. So I figured that's a good trade-off. They don't get magic, and the Witch now can swing through for some damage here. And I've cleared the board, save for 1 common, and there's probably going to be a champion that comes out this turn, so we'll see what ends up happening here. Here comes that champion, and we predicted it would be Deep Water. Now, they have ambush, so they can attack twice, so we're going to take some damage, but really, once we kill this, our backline, there's no threat to it. So it's pretty much a foregone conclusion that we've won here. So they're going to attack Ezek first here. And they're actually attacking. Typically you can't attack outside of your attack phase, but they attacked and then they're going to move. And they're going to attack both of our champions. And Kite Rider is going to get hit. And let's see if the Kite Rider makes it. Highly unlikely. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so they have 6 magic, which is a lot of magic, but they have no cards in hand. So let's just take out the rest of their characters, the rest of their cards. And what I'm doing here, oh, I totally forgot about this. This is fun too. So Again, I really wanted to maximize on Skiz's ability, and so I thought that I could chain together. I'm going to use Ezek to slingshot my Volt Swapper forward. He's going to use Chain Step to get in front of the Witch, and then he's going to be able to actually move behind Nymera. So that's what we're doing. Ezek's going to go forward there. They're going to use the Lightning Pole to put the Volt Swapper there. Volt Swapper is going to swing up there, and then they get to move. And so now we're in range. Remember, Skiz has 4 spaces that it's looking for. So because the Volt Swapper has a lightning ability, 1, 2, 3, 4, means that Nymera is still in range and is still going to get attacked for 1 damage. And we're going to see if we can kill Inara. Now, it's, I guess, a little risky, but she's not going to kill anybody next turn other than the Witch down there with 1 hit point, but that wouldn't matter. There we go. And we're going to allow them to return volley. So Nymera is giving herself more health, buying some more time. The Swarm's going to pull forward and attack. Best possible result, still can't kill my Witch. And we're going to pull out another Witch. And forward we go. Now we're going to put this Witch here just because we actually now want to start attacking the gate. Because we want to attack and pincer Nymera from both sides. Volt Swapper is going to move in. Volt Swapper can attack. Thrak can... we're just going to move here. We'll see if we do anything. We're going to put a gate behind Thrak. Don't really need to do that. That was actually a mistake because I could have summoned more Volt Swappers. And the Volt Swapper with recharge, retrieve up to 2 Volt Swappers from your discard pile and place them adjacent to your summoner. You'll see in future turns why it was a mistake because I am a little bit less efficient than I could be. And Skiz is going to bottle some lightning. And Skiz is actually going to attack and swing through. 2 damage. Volt Swapper attacking. No damage. Okay, and we're kind of basically just ignoring this Changeling Swarm. Yeah, they're probably going to kill my Witch, but I'm totally okay with it, and Thrak's not in threat of dying, so it's kind of more important to focus on Nymera. And Nymera is moving and getting more health, so they're still saving some things up here. They're going to kill my Volt Swapper, see if they can book it backwards, but really, they're standing on their last legs. Swarm's going to attack here. Okay, and here comes my recharge, and here you'll see I'm able to put the 1 Volt Swapper out. I would have been able to put 2 out. And Volt Swapper's going to punch up there, which is going to go right in front of Nymera just to tank some damage. Ezek's going to pull up here. And we're not even going to use Chain Lightning. We're going to try to attack them the old-fashioned way. And you know what? We get bit for it. We got greedy. And they still have 1 hit point. Again, Thrak has plenty to live off of. And we're going to do 1 damage. Nymera can heal herself. We'll see if she chooses to do that or to damage my Witch with her boost token. But we're in the end game for sure. Okay, here comes the attack, 2 damage, we can take it, you know, 'tis but a flesh wound, and here comes our turn. So Volt Swapper, we're going to pin her down right there, we're going to use the Witch right there, and Skiz is going to trigger his Bottled Lightning once more. So here comes attack number 1. I'm able to actually break through because Skiz is our most powerful character here. And here comes 3 hit points gone. They have 2 hit points left here. And the Swarm has 1 hit point left as well. So we wind up missing with that. And we hit the swarm with our chain lightning. We don't have to waste an attack on him. So we're going to hit them with the bottled lightning here. And doing so, we're going to trigger the Volt Swapper here. They're going to be at 1 hit point. Now, they're probably just going to concede and commit suicide and not attack us. If they don't, we have more than enough cavalry to be able to finish the deed. And so let's just see how it finishes. Yeah, I don't really have to discard anything. Grounded, you didn't see it. Place your summoner in your back row. It's great because he's very far forward, for instance. If I needed to retreat, I could put him in any space in my back row. Let's discard this. See if there's any other cards that you'll want to see, but they're probably just going to commit suicide. Oh, no, they're still kicking it. Okay. So we could do this many different ways. We could put a Volt Swapper up here like that. I have to end the event because I can't get both. And we could do something like this. We have plenty of options here. Boom, boom. We can use Thrak's Chain Lightning here. You know, I think I just want to be able to use all of my champion's abilities just because that's pretty fun. So let's move Ezek here just to be able to move Skiz right there. And so they're pinned from every side. And yeah, let's just choose how we want to finish this. Let's just plant a gate here, kind of like I'm planting a flag and, you know, demonstrating that I've won this battle here. And we could do Bottled Lightning. We could do Chain Lightning. We could attack with dice. And why don't we just do Chain Lightning just as a final celebratory conclusion for Thrak. So hopefully you had fun watching and seeing. Actually, this might be one of my favorite, if not my favorite, summoner and faction. It's really like you can get really offensive. You can also burn through your deck really quickly and leave yourself in a very vulnerable position. But here comes the Chain Lightning, a firework display, and let's destroy the Volt Swapper and Chimera, and the Storm Goblins are victorious. Thanks for watching.